conflict going on in the Kingdom Hall with Jehovah's Witnesses. Do you wonder what's bouncing around in their brains? It's the it's a polarizing effect of the Jehovah issue. He's looking over your shoulder. He's there. You can't see him. He's around the corner, but he is watching. Jehovah is always watching. But don't worry, he's your best friend. In theory, he's your best friend. He's your best friend, however, he's constantly watching you, and every day he's deciding whether or not to kill you. But he is your best friend. He's your only friend. Because you can't trust human friends. They will let you down. But human friends can't really be your friends. Jehovah's your friend. But Jehovah, see, if you mess up, at any time if you mess up, it's like there's scales. On one side of the scales, it's like you're loading bags of grain on there. Potatoes! Grain and potatoes. And on one side, it's balancing out all the time. The good things you do, i.e. going out in field service, and placing magazines at doors, mowing the lawn for the elders. And but when you mess up, it's the scale that tips the other way. And each day, it's the days where you mess up, then you've reverted back to Jehovah is going to execute you. But have you ever noticed that? Now, the Bible says that Jehovah is greater than our own hearts. God is greater than our own hearts. He is merciful to the last. That is a Watchtower quote. Jehovah is merciful to the last. When you ask Jehovah's Witness about why do you want your neighbor killed? Why do you want worldly people killed? You're knocking on people's doors, but you want them to die. And they say, oh no, we don't want them to die. We're trying to save them. But it's Jehovah that wants them to die. Well, I thought Jehovah was better than humans. You want those people to live. Now, if you ask any Jehovah's Witness, if you ask a room full of Jehovah's Witness, 100 Jehovah's Witness, you hold up a picture of a person, a worldly person, say, do you want this person to die? Oh no, we don't want them to die. We'd save them. We're trying to save them. Jehovah he's your friend / probation officer / he's watching you all the time. It's okay. He's a fictional character. People have told me, do you realize that Jesus did not actually exist? And I tell them that Jesus did exist. To me, I don't see any way around that. I mean, if the man didn't even exist, there'd be a lot of people back in the olden days that would say, wait, I was there. He didn't exist. Who are you talking about? I was right there. I'm getting into some dicey territory. I believe now there are people that say Jehovah, Jesus, the whole thing is not real. I think there was a man named Jesus Johnson J. Christ, but I believe that. And I believe that he said things that are written in the Bible. What I can't believe is that he took 2 fish and a loaf of bread and turned it into baskets of food that fed thousands of people. I'm just not seeing it. You can prove me wrong. I could be wrong. Prove me wrong. Jehovah, are you going to get right with Jehovah? Is what they say to me. I'll never forget that when my dad asked me if I was ready to get right with Jehovah. And, how do you get right with something is just wrong? How do you get right with the word Jehovah? I know the meaning of the word. I can't go back to not knowing where the word Jehovah came from. Jehovah. Now, I do believe that I've come to conclude that there was a man in the sky that was talking to people thousands of years ago. I believe that there really was a voice in the sky. I don't think people would be falling on their own swords and hanging themselves and setting other people on fire for a voice in their head. Too many people were hearing the same voice in their head. I think there was a voice, and I think it was coming from the sky. I just don't think it was a benefactor to anyone. Whoa! Let's ease off a little bit here. I don't know what's going on, friends. Maybe there's ghosts. Maybe there's aliens. Maybe there are spirit creatures. Maybe there are invisible creatures. Maybe there are time travelers. I believe that there are beings. Maybe they're electronic. They're like Digimon. Maybe there are beings that are invisible, that are talking to persons thousands of years ago, maybe even interacting with persons. I don't believe that they are doing anything beneficial for people and easy. Moreover, I don't believe, maybe this voice that is talking to people, I don't believe that it created the universe. That's the claim I have the problem with. I just don't believe that this creature created the universe. I think that's the lie. Maybe his name was Yahweh. Maybe his name was Jehovah. Maybe his name was Yeshua. Maybe his name was Baal Marduk. Oh, Marmaduke. Oh, Marmaduke. You began as a god, then you turned into a comic strip which touched our hearts. Good old Marmaduke. I don't believe the claim of creating the universe, because if you have created the universe, you should be able to do something good for somebody somewhere. And to point this out again, this is Jehovah. He's not parting the Red Sea for anyone. He's not walking anyone into anywhere. He's not opening any doors for anyone. They say you pray to him, and you say, I prayed to Jehovah. He gave me the power. He gave me the power. And he gave you the power. He does not save anyone from the great beyond, however. His power, I'm just calling it like I see it, friends. The voice that talks to people, he talks a good game. But for creating the universe, he doesn't seem to be able to. He can make some apparitions sometimes. He can give people nightmares. It seems to be well within the capability of this creature or creatures that they're able to torment people at night. They're able to affect people's minds. Creating the universe, I don't see a lot of creations happening. I'm looking into the sky for the creations. I watch Creation Station on PBS, but Jehovah, words change over time. Jehovah, if you ask me about Jehovah today, I can give you the update. Jehovah does exist, but not as a person. He is the square root of various things. Jehovah is the square root of whatever is going on inside you. The Sparlock toy. The reason the Sparlock toy really set people off is because it symbolizes the Jehovah's Witness thing in a nutshell. Of course, the Sparlock toy, being something as innocent as a toy, represents it perfectly because it represents anything that is going to make you happy in life. It's about a feeling. Jehovah is a feeling. And he is it. Whatever it is for you. Jehovah is the feeling of guilt, shame, fear, intimidation, worthlessness. Whatever conflict is happening inside you can be summed up in a word, Jehovah. It's the be-all, end-all for Jehovah's Witnesses. And when you open up the Watchtower magazine, you will see happy people. There are people smiling. They're smiling from eating cheese crackers. No, they're smiling because they're going out in field service, knocking on doors, raising their hands at the meeting to give a comment. See, that's the only true happiness, friends. That is the great beyond for Jehovah's Witnesses. You will receive the great beyond. But all other forms of happiness are counterfeit happiness. Those are counterfeit happinesses that don't last. And truly I say unto you, you cannot enjoy them, no matter how bad you want to. Now in Watchtower magazine, you will crack open the pages and you will see next to the you see the morning picture, and then you see the afternoon picture or the evening picture, because they always show Jehovah's Witnesses living very full lives. You will see a Jehovah's Witness in perfectly ironed clothes out in field service. In the afternoon photo, directly to the right of it, you will see them flying a kite, playing a trumpet, boating. You'll see them out on riding a sailboat. Very expensive hobbies sometimes, but somehow they're able to do the daily morning field service, live in a big house, be wearing Dockers and a polo shirt, have a wife and 2.5 children, and they are riding on a boat after the Sunday meeting. After they fulfilled their obligations, then they are kayaking. And Jehovah's Witnesses do struggle to, friends, I've lived it. I've seen it. A desperate scramble to have some identity outside of the... I've seen Jehovah's Witnesses that tried to take up some form of hobby, make something of it, maybe even turn it into a business. But the point is, try to establish some identity to round out their life as a Jehovah's Witness, only to be an abysmal failure in every instance. I've seen, it doesn't matter what you were doing. If you begin to take any sort of delight, pleasure, or satisfaction in it, it will be cut down by the elders, or your parents, or your spouse. Whoever is watching you in behalf of Jehovah will cut a rug with you. They'll get on the dance floor. No, they will cut it out from under you. They will. If you're playing fantasy football with some brothers, you've set up a fantasy football league with some brothers. If it becomes popular, it will be taken away from you. They'll say that the little plastic trophy you hand out to the winner is an idol. You had your heart set on this. You've invested your free time and your season into doing it. They will take it away from you. Another example being, I remember, there was a sister that got into Hawaiian dancing with grass skirts and the what do you even call it? The hula hoops? What do they call those flower things they put around people's necks? I don't know. A woman got really into Hawaiian dancing. It was just a hobby for her. Something to do. It was a great way to stay in shape. You're supposed to have hobbies. Watchtower magazine. They showing Jehovah's Witnesses living some sort of normal life after field service. And people make the brave attempt to do so. And it gets taken away from them again and again and again every fucking time. And they said that they produced for her an article on belly dancing. But they waited until she, until other sisters got interested in it, wanted to do it for them. It was kind of like, doesn't matter if it's Taibo, aerobics, anything. They will find the satanic root in it and take it away from you after you've gotten your heart set on it. They give you 3 or 4 or 6 months to get vested in it. Then comes the prestige. The setup, the big fall, they love it. It's part of the process, the refinement, the granulating.
I hope you see what losing you would do to me. All I want is one more chance. Tell me what I have to do to make you happy. What do I have to do to make you wonder?
He's constantly watching you, and every day he's deciding whether or not to kill you. But he is your best friend. He's your only friend. Because you can't trust You can't trust human friends. They will let you down. But human friends can't really be your friends. Jehovah's your friend. But Jehovah, see, if you mess up, at any time if you mess up, it's like there's scales. On one side, then you've reverted back to Jehovah is going to execute you. But have you ever noticed that? Now, the Bible says that Jehovah is greater than our own hearts. God is greater than our own hearts. He is merciful to the last. That is a Watchtower quote. Jehovah is merciful to the last. When you ask Jehovah's Witness about why do you want your neighbor killed? Why do you want worldly people killed? Why do you want, you're not going to... going on in the Kingdom Hall with Jehovah's Witnesses. Do you wonder what's bouncing around in their brains? It's the it's a polarizing effect of the Jehovah issue. He's looking over your shoulder. He's there. You can't see him. He's around the corner, but he is watching. Jehovah is always watching. But don't worry, he's your best friend. In theory, he's your best friend. He's your best friend, however, side of the scales, it's like you're loading bags of grain on their potatoes. Grain and potatoes. And on one side, it's balancing out all the time. The good things you do, i.e. going out in field service, and placing magazines at doors, mowing the lawn for the elders, and... but when you mess up, it's the scale that tips the other way. And each day, it's the days where you mess up